Football, playoffs. Hey, while the Bears are over in London, I want them to find out something that historians have been trying to determine for the past 60 years. What does Prince Charles actually do for a living?
And when are people going to realize that you can't use the name Hitler or Nazis in a comparison and not offend somebody?
Well, welcome once again to Culture Clash, brought to you by our great friends over at Athens Motors on Waukegan Road in Morton Grove. Stop by Athens Motors if you want that deluxe, if you want that dream car. Athens Motors is the place to be. I'm Chet Kopic along with
Catherine Saxon. Hello.
All right. First down, 10 yards to go. What's on your mind today, Kate?
Okay, well, I mean, the fate can change quickly in the NFL.
Yes.
We won past Sunday, and of course, somebody gets hurt, Devin Hester. What's it going to be like his, in the future coming games? Is he going to be able to play? Are you up to date on what's going on?
I don't think Devin Hester right now is an issue for the Chicago Bears. But I mean,
wouldn't
really,
you say arguably that he's the most dynamic
like
or important player at
No,
this point?
oh my gosh, no. Jay Cutler, Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher. Really, Devin Hester is a one-dimensional football player, albeit a very exciting football player. But I mean,
48-yard touchdown catch, so I have to say impressive.
To get down to business, wouldn't you really like to know what Prince Charles actually does for a living?
He's a prince. I think that's the answer to that question.
He hangs out.
Yes.
He does nothing.
Okay, so also I want to talk to you about Jay Cutler, whether or not he's really getting along with offensive coordinator Mike Martz. He was caught on camera, beauty of camera work these days, dropping an F-bomb and saying F you to Mike Martz during the game. And Lovie said in a post-interview that this is why the players and the coaches really appreciate the locker room.
Lovie, television is paying your salary, for heaven's sakes. You know what? Who cares? Jay Cutler's a quarterback. You want your quarterback to have an ego. You want your quarterback to be a little bit hostile, a little bit angry. The idea that
you say that that's passion.
Cutler would say F you to Martz or F that about Mike Martz. That's supposed to bother me. That's going to bother me when, that's going to bother me when I weigh 300 pounds.
Oh, soon.
And I'm getting damn close already.
I mean, yeah, actually it didn't bother me either. I think that happens in the heat of the moment and in heat of passion and whatever.
Absolutely.
Those weren't really for our eyes. Okay, so the scuffle between 49ers coach and also the Detroit Lions coach, Jim Schwartz, do you think the NFL is allowing the coaches to get away with something that the players wouldn't be allowed to get away with?
Yeah, probably. Given the fact that it happened after the ball game, you're thinking about coaches as authoritarian figures. Frankly, I loved it. I really loved it. I knew.
Well,
Jim
yeah, I mean, it was
Harbaugh
fun for us to watch.
When he played with the Bears, when he broke into the club back in 1987, and Jim looks like a guy who should have been cast on Leave It to Beaver. He looks like every mother's son, like the boy next door.
He does.
Beneath the boy next door, there is a genuine badass, a guy who's got a temper, a guy who can.
Yeah, that pat on the back was, pretty aggressive, and you could see him. You could see him mouthing something that was antagonistic.
That qualified him for Ultimate Fighting Championship.
I have to say though, Jeff Schwartz, he's kind of slow. I mean, he was trying to run after him, and it was like he was in slow motion. I was like, "Speed up, buddy!" But yeah, I would think that there would be a fine for the players if the rules were.
No, in fact, I applaud the NFL for not fining the coaches.
Okay.
I mean, there was no damage done. There was no harm. Nobody lost any teeth. So just move on. Head to the next game.
All right, something a little tragic. Dan Waldon's death. I think it was a 15-car pileup that happened.
Massive, yeah.
Okay. I mean, maybe this is a rhetorical question, but is race car driving too dangerous of a sport? I mean, what happens after this? There's got to be some sort of regulations in place, and I know that safety is always an issue in race car driving, but I mean, what do you think? Well,
I think, Catherine, 2 points come to mind. Number one, I was working in Indianapolis back in the mid to late 70s during auto racing's golden era with A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti and Johnny Rutherford and the Unsers and all these guys that you wouldn't know.
What's the appeal? What's the appeal?
Well,
it's the most watched sporting event, or at least for live attendance in the country. I just don't really get the appeal.
Well, no doubt the lure of death and the lure of bad accidents is part of the box office appeal of NASCAR, IndyCar racing, but I think people really develop attachments with these guys. And it's interesting, going back to the mid-1970s, I covered IndyCar racing on a regular basis because I was working down in Naptown, and it was the golden era with A.J. Foyt and Mario and the Unzers and Johnny Rutherford and a whole bunch of other guys that you've never heard of. But you know what I found to be most interesting
one ear
was
out the other.
I covered racing down there for 6 years. I never had to cover a fatality. And even now, with NASCAR fans, on lap 3 of various races around the country, you'll see NASCAR fans go 3 on lap 3. And what are they doing? They're commemorating the death of Dale Earnhardt Sr., which happened 10 years ago. I mean, that's how strong the attachments are. What can auto racing do, in my opinion? Nothing it hasn't already done.
Okay.
You have to accept the risk. You want to play the game, you know, chances are you're going out in the box.
I mean, some people have the argument that are these drivers even athletes? I don't know if that's
They're great athletes.
offensive.
The eye-to-hand coordination to go 225 miles an hour into a turn and make that turn successfully where you might go that far from the wall. To me, athletics is not necessarily about size. It's not necessarily always about speed. It's about eye-to-hand coordination. Your great quarterbacks have terrific eye-to-hand coordination. Great baseball players, great hitters, tremendous eye-to-hand coordination. Auto racers are the same way. In fact, their eye-to-hand coordination might be the best of all the parties I've mentioned.
Okay. They're athletes. Well said. All right, let's switch over to some politics. Herman Cain talked about building a barbed wire electric fence that could kill those who tried to climb it and enter the country illegally. He even went on to defend the idea against those who feel it's inhuman. He said, "I get criticized, Mr. Cain. That's insensitive." What do you mean it's insensitive? What's insensitive is when they come to the United States across our border and kill our citizens and kill our border patrol people. But when he was pressed about this on Meet the Press, he backed up a little bit and said that it was just a joke, all in good jest. So, Herman Cain, not a comedian. He said also that Americans need to get a sense of humor. So I think saying that an electric fence is going a little too far. I wonder.
Herman Cain, the bloom is off the rose. About 2 weeks ago, you were everybody's All-American. Now, you know what? We're finding cracks.
Yes.
We're finding that your wall is not without imperfections. That comment is going to come back to haunt him. And you know what? Right now,
I mean, was he? You know what? Was he serious, or even if that was a joke? I mean, that's.
Who the hell says that?
I mean, besides the fact that that would be inhumane. I mean, it's just stupid. Just a stupid comment. By the way, your 999 plan, analysts have come to determine that it's not going to work.
I mean, why don't we put up a barbed wire fence on Highway 94 so people can't get to the Potawatomi Casino in Milwaukee?
That's actually a good idea. The largest Catholic civil rights organization in the United States is lashing out at Susan Sarandon for referring to the Pope as a Nazi last weekend.
Oh, that's just dandy. Go do Thelma and Louise again, all right, you dumb broad?
What I want to know, I mean, obviously this guy was 14 years old when he was in Germany, and we know the history behind that, but what do you think's worse? You know, Susan Sarandon's Nazi Pope comment or Hank Williams' Hitler-Obama analogy? Because
Susan Sarandon.
I think
because Hank Williams, I don't take Hank Williams seriously. I like to believe that Susan Sarandon does have some degree of intelligence. First of all,
well, technically she was saying a fact, but
who cares about what Hank Williams' political opinions are?
Yeah,
he's a hillbilly singer with a famous father who died of an overdose in the backseat of a car.
Okay. Agreed. I think that the only time that you can use Nazi in a way that's not offensive is on
when
Seinfeld.
You refer to your bookmaker.
Is in privacy, but on Seinfeld, Nazi or the soup Nazi.
You see, what I don't
that
get
to
is,
me was, that was.
Sarandon had to know the moment she said that. I'm DOA with this.
Yes. I agree. I mean, especially with what just happened to Hank Williams. Learn from other people's mistakes.
The bulk of Hollywood's hierarchy, the brass, the studios, are controlled by Jewish people.
Yes.
How are they going to respond to this? Not very favorably.
Maybe you should read the book Dead Men Walking. I mean...
I saw the movie, and she was magnificent in the movie.
Okay, so kudos for that. Moving forward...
Is she still married to Timothy Bottoms?
Robbins.
Timothy Robbins. Well, Robbins, Bottoms...
No, I don't think they are.
I don't know, actually. Do we know?
I don't think they are. but I'll check.
Do we really care? Let's move on.
Okay, well, if some Evergreen Park High School students need to use a bathroom, they better have a big bladder or wait until after school, because a new policy that is in store is having some teachers limit students to 3 washroom passes throughout the entire semester.
This is just
It's in regards to penalty. So they'd have to stay after school, make up the class that they missed, and for answering the call of nature. This is because the principal and the teachers think that they're cutting class by going to the bathroom to cut class, and okay. I mean, seriously, how about we take it by case situation and see if one kid in particular is going to the bathroom often, and that's how you handle that. I mean, really, three bathroom
Mrs.
passes?
Jones, Johnny just went to the washroom and urinated for the 4th time during this current semester. As a result, he will have to come in and urinate on Saturday for a period of 1 hour. This is the dumbest thing I have ever heard of in my life. This once again reflects on how badly the entire school system is, not only just in Chicago, but throughout the entire Chicagoland area. I mean, for heaven's sakes, if a child has a severe bladder problem, or a child had a taco the night before and has to answer the call of nature, what the hell are you going to do, for Pete's sakes?
How is that even legal? All right, Governor Pat Quinn.
It's not legal in my opinion.
I don't think it is either.
It's a violation of civil rights.
I agree. Governor Pat Quinn threatened Monday to veto the massive gambling expansion bill.
Which, by the way, nobody took seriously except Pat Quinn.
Okay, well, I mean, I actually kind of think this is a good idea. Instead, propose a scaled-back alternative that would still allow a casino in Chicago and 4 other new casinos, but not allow slot machines at racetracks, the O'Hare Airport in Midway, and also the Illinois State Fairgrounds. So I think that obviously the casinos are a way for us to create revenue, but I don't think that we want to be the Midwest Las Vegas. So,
well, first of all, I think, having a casino in Danville, I mean, Danville is such a marvelous tourist location to visit. I mean, who wouldn't want a casino in Danville? I cannot believe why perpetually administrators in this state refuse to allow slot machines at racetracks, because the racing industry is dying. That being said, I don't believe a word Quinn says until Mike Madigan says something of his own.
Okay, well,
Because
Quinn says he
Madigan
gets the
runs the
final
state.
vote, so I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Last but not least, Lindsay Lohan's teeth. Have you seen pictures of these lately? Because they are deteriorating. She looks like a homeless person. She's either a dentist's worst nightmare or biggest dream. But this chick is falling apart before our eyes.
Well, I guess she'll have to hog all that stolen jewelry and just get some false teeth. Poor Lindsay.
Poor Lindsay.
Is that all you got on your mind today?
That's it. That's all
All
for
right,
today.
this has been Culture Clash. We want to thank the marvelous people at Athens Motors over on Waukegan Road in Morton Grove for their continued support of this this roustabout that we bring you weekly. We'll be back again in 7 days. I'm Chet Kopic along with
Catherine Saxon.
We thank our good friend Corey for his expertise as per usual. And don't forget, until next week, as Don Cornelius would say, peace, love, and soul. So long, everybody.